Hey, what is up, my beautiful people? Good morning, or at least good morning from wherever you are. Well, it's morning where I'm at. And I was just scrolling online, just browsing through YouTube, just because, and just that's something that I like to do. And I happened to come across just a very particular topic regarding purebreds and versus mixed breeds. And personally, I mean, I'll appreciate a dog for what it is, like for what its for what its life is, and yeah, I just enjoy its company for just who or she is. But I really have a bone, a bone to pick with with purebreds per se, or just any dog that has been the subject of only just any dog that's pretty much just been restricted to reproducing with its own relatives, or anything that's been forced to reproduce with its own relatives. Now, of course, if you have a brain, you pretty much know, or if you're, yeah, you pretty much know that that's a bad thing to do, and that's obviously going to be a hell in a handbasket, both for the puppies involved and also the parents who pretty much passed on those very weak and poor genetics onto their offspring. And, yeah, by the way, I'm outside just because I like to get footage outside. And, yeah, I just thought I'd share the forest with you guys. And, yeah, I don't know. But, anyway, I mean, I love animals. I love them to heaven and back. I do believe they have just as much a purpose of living as we do. And, no, I'm not a vegan. So, yeah, like, I will eat the occasional steak. But yeah, I mean, for example, the dogs in question, these are just some of the more prominent dogs with the most obvious problems, and that includes the British Bulldog, just most of the brands of Bulldogs, Pugs, definitely, and those other, like Terriers, yeah, the Boston Terriers, or yeah, I think so. Those dogs are like the really big heads, and I mean, they have a lot of genetic weaknesses. They have more problems than benefits, unfortunately. And, I mean, they are cute. Don't get me wrong, they are cute. But that's the problem. That's the only thing they have to contribute to our lives. They're only cute. And it's really sad that there's a lot of people just unwilling or just unable to care about these poor dogs, these poor canines' problems. And some of these dogs, I mean, the bulldog actually used to look like English. It's hard. A lot of these bulldogs, they used to look a lot alike the modern day pit bull. Like, that's what they used to look like. They kind of used to look like a pit bull, as well as the pug. It kind of used to look like a pit bull. I mean, you can do a quick Google imagery search and find out that these dogs, they used to actually look pretty well, very athletic, longer legs, less broader shoulders, I mean, longer muzzles, and because that's where most of these dogs' problems stem from, the muzzle. They can't breathe. These poor creatures cannot breathe. They really have a lot of problems and a lot of heart issues and shorter legs now, and yeah, just from the way they look now is very different from what they used to look like back then. They are not functional for life. I mean, they can't even reproduce by themselves anymore. And the females, oh gosh, these poor literal bitches, they cannot give birth on their own. It really saddens me. It really saddens me. As a species, if you can't reproduce or give birth, or if you need this much help getting birth, I mean, what direction are you going on the evolutionary line? Are you improving? Really? Is this dog improving? We are basically these dogs' God. They're only allowed to live because at this point in time, we've allowed them to be so. And we did this to them. Like, there's no one else to blame but ourselves. I mean, we did this to them. Now, this isn't just to start anything. I just had to get this off my chest, guys. I mean, as an animal lover, I mean, you really gotta... And as an animal lover, if you guys love animals, I mean, this would make you feel some type of way, too. I mean, it just really grinds my gears that people just, with superficial attitudes in these freaking kennel clubs, like, they don't give a rat's about these animals' well-being. And I had to shut that gate because there was a freaking hornet. So sorry about that. Uh, yeah. Should I edit that out? For all you guys wearing headphones and that noise hurts you, I'm sorry. But anyway, like I was saying, the kennel clubs, they really don't care about these animals at all. They could care less. And that hornet is still there. So I'm just going to shut this door altogether. Yeah, I got my fan going on. And I really want to see these creatures prosper. I mean, the only choice is to either let them either die out or just have them crossbred. Because the more they keep breeding these animals to look a specific way, to look like this, the more they're going to be continuously hurting them. Because these animals, I mean, if left to their own devices, I mean, the toy animals, I mean, I've showed you, in fact, I think I've shown some of you guys on like social media, my little Chihuahua dog, Coco. I think in some live videos. I mean, even like Chihuahuas are kind of a disadvantage. I mean, why? Because they're small, but hey, well, their breed is ancient, but if left to their own devices, these toy-sized dogs are these dogs that have, I mean, these purebred dogs would probably not really survive too well. Or almost any dog wouldn't, but yeah, any dog can have health issues, but I'm talking purebred specifically, whose only purpose was just for their looks. That's it. And because the bulldog, its face is so flat, like a frying pan, and messed up and just disgruntled, and just its only purpose is just to look cute. I mean, its head is just so abysmally big and flat that it can't breathe. Its nostrils are almost like up its face, and some tails are ingrown. I mean, pugs and these Boston Terriers included. They have something called bossa, excuse me, something like that, which I guess is where too much tissue is in the back of the throat to the point where it can't breathe. And it struggles to breathe, like on a daily basis, day in and day out. And there's this bug-eyed problem with the pugs and some Chihuahuas and the Boston Terriers. I mean, I forgot what it was called, but don't bother looking it up. I mean, if you want to, well, actually, I would advise you didn't, for your mental health. And if you're someone who's prone to mental scarring, I won't make you, I won't make you look that up. God, that hornet needs to beat it. But, you know. Yeah, if I had the choice, I mean, I would get a mutt. I would not get a purebred. Again, well, Coco's a rescue. I did not buy her from a breeder. I will never buy from a breeder at all because, well, a lot of breeders, they're mostly in it for the money. I mean, they're pretty much like hoeing their dogs. I mean, pretty much hoeing their female dogs left and right. And they're the only ones I feel sorry for, the ones who didn't have a choice really in it. And has to give birth like litter after litter. And there's so many homeless dogs in the shelters. I mean, just adopt. I mean, you're kind of messing up, and already I'm suffering animals' chance of getting adopted in a shelter who might actually live twice as long as these purebred dogs. If you're gonna breed mutts, well, yeah, still be careful with that. Honestly, breeding in general, you're still gonna promote the overpopulation of these animals. And, I mean, horses, cats included. And, I mean, that's it. And, sorry, I'm still distracted by that freaking asshole wasp or hornet or whatever. I mean, I don't even know if I'm allergic, and I'm not about to, I mean, your girl's not about to find out today. I am not about to find out today. Because I got some stuff to do today. But anyway, yeah, I mean, just in conclusion, with this side of the video, if you want a dog, I mean, just adopt. I mean, you're really saving this dog's life. And the more we breed, the more we're just promoting overpopulation of dogs, cats, horses, and, I mean, even like them herbivore animals like rabbits, guinea pigs, and just, I mean, please, like just adopt. And be careful what pet store you go to, because a lot of them support puppy mills. If you don't know what a puppy mill is, it's pretty much just like factory farming, but for dogs or cats or horses or yada yada. And I'm even picky about where I get my meat and eggs from. And yeah, I mean, the consequences of inbreeding, I mean, are pretty much drastic within itself. And yeah, so if you don't want a purebred dog to have all these problems, or if you don't want a dog period to be having all these problems, then yeah, just get a mutt. I mean, what's wrong with the mutt? I mean, it's probably more functional for life anyway, and it won't have that freaking throat issue, that breathing issue, lung problems. Less likely to have hip dysplasia because the bulldog and pugs, I mean, they're pretty much guaranteed a hip dysplasia, every single member of them. Whereas a mutt, it could still have hip dysplasia, but it's less likely if taken care of right. Whereas this is pretty much a genetic guarantee. And freaking eyes popping out of their head. That's what I told you to like not look up before. That one disease. It begins with a P or something called something. It's where the eyes are literally like popping out of their skulls because their skulls are like small, but their brains are just too big. And that has to, I mean, they're pretty much a headache in a handbasket. I mean, that's like a headache every day. Imagine having migraines every day for the rest of your life. Yeah, I really hope these dogs stop getting bred like this. I mean, or just crossbreed them, because the last thing I want is to see an animal suffer. I mean, on the outside, it doesn't look like they're suffering, but we don't really look on what's on the inside. And speaking of the inside, this is a zoology book that I had about a couple years ago in my zoology class at a Clackamas Community College. And for all who don't know where that is, it's on the west coast in Oregon. It's yeah, I pretty much kept this book. I don't know why I did. I mean, it cost my very generous a very generous family member who I pretty much ended up getting that loan from pay for this book. I really thank you to the very generous family member for helping me out with that. But yeah, I kept this book to pretty much just study in it, just because that's the nerd that I am. And there's a lot to look through. There's a lot to look through, such as taxonomy, phylogeny, and pretty much embryology and amniotes and the embryonic egg and its development, early development. As you guys can see, we're kind of pretty much all one and the same at some point. Like, which one's the human? Take a guess. I think I showed the labels right there. But yeah, my point with this is there's sections of this that have to do with genetics. Like, here's the chapters. There's such a thing. There's such things in parts 2, chapter 5. There's a review of that. Cellular division and immunity and the biochemistry of things, and what incest does. This could but this could fuck up. This could really mess up a lot of functions within this living organism's body. I mean, even not the superficial things. I mean, but the superficial things, those are the tip of the iceberg. I mean, we're talking about a whole lot of blood issues, cancers, rare genetic problems that you would only find, like, well, not at all, that you would only find in extremely rare cases in humans. I'm going to get on you guys about this too. I mean, humans are guilty of this because apparently you have to be, because back then purity was a thing. And if you were a mutt like me, I mean, you're kind of less likely to be, well, I don't know, I guess appreciated, but but then again, who's laughing now? I mean, you guys didn't live that long. But I mean, in humans, it's also bad, like very, very, very bad. And I think it's really selfish too. I mean, inbreeding, it's completely selfish. There's no two ways to go about it. It's essentially abuse. I mean, both for the child and also for the puppies or whatever you're breeding. I mean, whatever kind of concoction or freak show you guys are trying to cook up just for your own selfish vanity and for your own amusement. I mean, you're really causing more problems than benefits. And it can really mess up the child or animal's immunity, behavior, and senses, and just all around functions in general. And even meat, or like eggs, or like chickens that have been crossbred, it can affect the quality of the meat or product that you're buying. I mean, plants, not so much per se, because their cellular structure is pretty different, and I'm going to get in that right now. But yeah, that's kind of how even things like marijuana are grown. Sometimes you got to splice maybe a relative with like another relative, but even there's like a wise way to do that. But that's plants. But whereas more complex creatures like mammals, like us, and our four-legged friends that we love so much. I mean, I think we are literally loving them to a literal death. What I think what could be done with the bulldog, I've heard of a new type of bulldog called the Lavet bulldog or something. It's pretty much trying to breed them back to their past, to what their ancestors used to look like. Which, good job. I mean, I'm all for it. That's a step in the right direction, people. That's a really big step forward. That is an amazing job. And if we keep doing this with the pugs and just all the other purebreds out there, just not really focus on appearance or phenotypes, but also the genotypes, and also, I mean, what's on the inside. We need to focus and look on what's on the inside. We have to take health into consideration again. Like, we have to really breed away from these problems. But first, the Kennel Club is going to have to care, I guess. I mean, I'm not really one for dog shows anyway. I mean, it's not really my cup of tea. I mean, a dog is a dog, a horse is a horse. I mean, love is love is love, however you want to see it, as long as you're not hurting anyone or anything in the process. But anyway, that's my little rant about this. Cheers, you guys. Salam, peace out, and yep. And hey guys, if you want to know your animal's lineage, that is important. And but the point is that incest causes nothing but problems, health degeneration. If you know that you're going to be putting your child or your animal through those tragedies, then I really kind of wish for your health to get better too. Because it's a selfish decision. It makes me lose my marbles and makes my brain make crazy talk. And also, you guys, if you guys are still wondering, yes, I'm still working on this. Don't get me wrong, I'm still working on this. Just, I had a lot to look through. Like, I had like a lot of reviews to look at myself. I mean, I had to watch the movie again. I mean, I had a lot of stuff to do. The reason I'm kind of putting these videos over the others is because this one is kind of taking the longest to do. And, yeah, my reactions... I'm still pretty new to this. I mean, give me a chance. But yeah, I'm really going to try my best with this one. Well, I mean, I got a new phone. I mean, I upgraded, but yeah. I mean, this one's coming out soon. Even if I have to put the phone in front of the computer and do the reaction that way, yeah, that's fine. I mean, still hang in there with me. If you're not, make your own damn channel. I'm just kidding. But yeah, anyway. Peace.